Tens of thousands of customers lost power last week after those severe storms rolled through our area.
Yeah, now the good news is most of it was restored by the weekend, but for a few hundred customers in the Battle Creek area, they had to wait 5 days. Our Zach Herrick joining us live now in Emmett Township with more on their story today. Zach?
Yeah, Derek, Annie, as you can imagine, a lot of frustration for residents here in Emmett Township after they went without power for 5 days ever since that storm Wednesday blew through. And you might not be able to tell anymore, but this is what Consumers Energy called a place that had historic damage. For some residents in Emmett Township, last Wednesday's severe storms marked the start of 5 full days in the dark.
I'm 81 years old. I'll be 82 this year. And I need to be able to get around without stumbling over everything. In the dark, sleep in a chair. I'm just fed up.
There's limbs everywhere.
And for resident John O'Neill, electricity is much more than a luxury as he continues his fight with terminal cancer.
It's very frustrating. I got to do breathing treatments about a couple times a day.
He and his family cannot afford a generator and say they have since thrown out more than $800 in food.
Super frustrating. We've lost a lot of food. We just had to fill a 90-gallon trash can full of all of our food. We're trying to feed our kids out to eat every day.
And you can see why. In the middle of the subdivision, a wire sits about 8 feet above the street. After not seeing crews for days, residents put out their own sign to warn larger vehicles.
It's a pretty dangerous situation. They never once came out and did anything about the wire. You know, it took care of it. We had to do it ourselves. We had a neighbor that put the sign out.
Many were left feeling even more frustrated after calls with Consumers Energy, saying they weren't given much of a timetable for restoration.
It's very frustrating. I've called, like I said, I've called 7 or 8 times. I've asked for supervisors to call me back. As of today, I had another one that was supposed to call me back today. They told me last night, I talked to a supervisor, he said they're sending extra crews from the Saginaw Bay City area.
The good news is that crews did arrive in the Harbor Creek neighborhood at around noon on Monday and restored power just about an hour later.
This week is supposed to start getting a little hotter. The warm air is coming.
And it's going to be harder for him to breathe.
And the stagnant air. We'd like to get that air conditioner going again.
And Consumers Energy says 80-mile-per-hour winds did, quote, historic damage in the area. They released a statement in part saying there have been hundreds of downed lines and broken poles in Calhoun and Branch counties. We had an electrical substation east of Battle Creek take a direct lightning strike, causing considerable damage. We appreciate our customers' patience during this challenging time. So again, residents here in Emmett Township are extremely ecstatic to have their power turned back on after the 5 days. But now Consumers Energy tells us their focus is turning to Bronson, where there are still a few customers there without power. They say they should have power back by tomorrow. For now, reporting live from Calhoun County, Zach Herrick, Fox 17 News.